Chainlink on the 4-hour chart. We're going to start here today, then we'll zoom out. We're zoomed in on the 4-hour short time frame. We'll zoom out to the daily, look and see what our next high price targets, low price targets, and then we'll zoom out even further to the weekly and look at our macro perspective. That's kind of this zone. If you see this yellow, if you're wondering what the hell that is, right? We're going to get to that. But first, we're zoomed way in on the 4-hour chart. We need to be watching for a move lower. Right, we want to avoid any much lower, right? Why? Well, I'm glad you asked. Let's look at this, right? So our swing lows back here. Here's our loosely fit 4-hour low time frame support zone right here, around 1750. We don't want to lose this, right? We're also in danger of having this kind of high here, higher high, and now a new lower high. So this is kind of our neckline. If this kind of produces and comes to fruition and start to close under here, right, we're looking at more downside. So we want to avoid that. So 1750 is where you want to see, hold the line if we continue down farther, right? We also have a high here, a low, a lower high, and a lower low that just happened last 4-hour candle. So we have 3 hours. So maybe by the time you're watching this video, go check to see where we closed. If we bounced, right, we have the top of the Gaussian channel right here, just around $18. Maybe we hit this and kind of bounce off of it, right? We have to wait and see. But low time frame, so don't put as much weight and thought into this as I have, right? So you want to be focusing on higher time frames. Certainly, if you're in the macros perspective, looking for, 2025 peaks, 2026 peaks, right? If you're in the long term, you need to focus on long term and less short term. Just looking at zoomed way in, what we're watching for on the short time frame, okay? Having said that, let's zoom out to the daily. What do we have here? Well, we have our move up, right? And then just chop. We're just consolidating. This is fine, right? There's nothing to really take bearish or bullish really out of here yet. Consolidation after a big move is the norm, right? So don't be confused by what's going on. This is absolutely normal to have green, red, right? We could continue that for many more days. So don't lose sight of the big picture. Chainlink busted a move up to this top of this resistance zone, $19. If we can start to close above that, right, we can maybe make another move, right? Imagine a scenario where we have our move up, consolidate around, and just continue the move, right? A-okay, we could do that. The signs that you want to be watching for is closing below your moving averages, your EMA 8, 14, 21, and the yellow, especially the yellow. If we go back below here, right, bigger trouble is afoot. I don't really anticipate that. But on the daily chart, right, we have all of these tops, right, going back over here, right? Come on, TradingView, you got it, right? Lagging up, right? Here we are, right? So peak here, right? If we zoom out, you could even draw this a little bit bigger, right? We can go from down here, right? You want to include as many touch points as possible. So we have our highs here, even our kind of our high wicks in here in this area, right? Good zone from $16.50 to around $17. Also included in that is our 21-day, that yellow line. That's what you want to be watching for. That's where bulls or bears tend to kind of divide the fence, divide the property. So if you start closing under that 21 on whatever time frame you're looking at, daily, 4-hour, weekly is big important. As long as you're not closing below that, you can remain bullish, okay? So we're above all moving averages, so absolutely we're more bullish than bearish at this point, right? Okay, we're hugging that top Bollinger Band, strong power move, right? Consolidation, no big deal. This lower Bollinger Band is signifying weakness in the uptrend, right? That's what that means, right? When you're diverging away from the top bands, right? See that mouth open? That's a power move. However, you're likely signaling consolidation when you start to curl in here, right? Which we're doing. Just means consolidation before the next move. So if these bands continue to curl in here, right? Compressing Bollinger Bands just means less volatility. So just waiting, right? Reading everything in context, right? We'll make all kinds of updates. So if you want to stay informed, watch more videos, right? We talk about Chainlink a lot. If you want more content than this, you have to join our Patreon group. We talk a lot more about the stock market, DXY, Bitcoin, various other assortment of coins, anything you want. That can be found again below through Patreon. You get access to our private alerts group. A lot more content in there. Okay, so that's Chainlink on the daily. Let's zoom out now to the weekly. So weekly shaping up. High wave wick so far. So not ideal, but we still have almost half the week left. Over 3 days, right? So depending on when you watch this, right, might be going into the weekly close before you watch this. Where do we end up closing? What we'd want to avoid at all costs for the bulls is closing back under this zone. Not only would it give back all these highs, these range highs, but it would also confirm as what's called dark cloud cover. Does that sound good or bad? If you make this like a brief higher high, which we did, and then you close back below half of the previous candle, which would be about $16-ish, right? You put roughly at this zone. So if we close under 16 on Sunday, weekly close, that would be big bear sign, right, for the next several weeks. So we want to avoid that at all costs, right? If you want Chainlink number go up, you don't want to see a weekly close under 16, okay? Here's our resistance zone, right? We're stuck in it. Why? Well, it's been a zone since 2020 when we started forming our highs back at 20 bucks, came down to our lows, resistance flips to support, right? Sometimes you need to clear out the noise. Put on a line chart there. And I apologize if you're still struggling here. Let's remove the Gaussian channel because even I'm having a hard time kind of seeing all this. So let's remove our moving averages, clean it up there, right? Remove the bullet. Let's just make it a clean chart, right? There you go. So we have peaks, valleys, right? Previous resistance becomes support, becomes resistance, fall down, right? Resistance again. We're trying to flip this level back to support. Once we do that and establish this as a support zone again, which we're attempting to do now, could take a couple more weeks, then Chainlink's good to go, right? Altcoin's good to go. Altcoins must get above, and that's total 3 here. This is your total market cap, your market cap without Bitcoin. Your market cap without Bitcoin and Ethereum is total 3. So add that to your chart if you don't have it. Once we're above 520 billion, we're set to soar, okay? We talk about this a lot in our other group. So that's that, right? So total 3, right? Once, we see that total 3 above 520, Chainlink is probably above $20 and we're good to go. That could take many more months, okay? So just patience. But, nice clean chart. Go back to candles, traditionals here. Real easy to see if you don't have, a bunch of shit covering it up. So sometimes making your chart just a price chart is all you need, really, to get support and resistance. If you had to pick one thing to become a master at, make it support and resistance, right? Pretty good. And why are we hesitating here? Well, look at the previous peak here. Our only kind of move up in the bear market, March of 2022. Fast forward to March of 2024, we're still likely going to be battling this, right? But if somehow we close above this, that close was 1808, right? We just did that. That's good signs. That's our highest close in almost 2 years. Big things happening, starting to happen, right? This is just the start for Chainlink. Once we get above this zone, around $20, let's just get a close above 20 and rip it off, right? Rip off this zone, then rip off the price to the upside, flannels back on, hats backwards, inside up, rally caps, right? All the good stuff happens above here. Get to 20 and, in the words of Doc, you're going to see some serious shit. Okay. So that's Chainlink wrapped up. A little bit longer of a video, 9 minutes. That's not too bad. All right. Let's get to our quote of the day. The sole meaning of life is to serve humanity. My job as a human servant is to make Chainlink videos. All right. That qualifies, right? All right, car of the day, Ferrari Roma. This was back in 2022. This was brand new. This is like kind of unreleased when I took this photo back in 2022 at a car show. Pretty amazing in person. I had never seen one before this. They're still pretty striking. I love the grille, right? They're one of the more economical Ferraris. I think you can get one for under $250,000, which is not too bad for a Ferrari. Brand new, right? I think that's the lowest price point of new Ferraris ever really been. Right, or at least in the last, since the trillions of dollars are printed, right? Since the money printer go burr. That's the Ferrari Roma. We'll do some more cars tomorrow, more quotes tomorrow. Maybe we'll do a live stream tomorrow, Friday. Got a couple of requests for some altcoins. Get your requests in. Maybe we'll cover those in the live stream tomorrow. Maybe we'll do that. Get enough requests. Maybe I get some people in there on Friday. I hope to see you there. Let me know what you thought. Give me some comments. We need the comments. Fill up the comments.